How do I start off other than just saying Halo Infinite is an incredible game? Alright, it is so good that it actually makes me want to replay it on Legendary. I've never played through a Halo game and said, yeah, I want to play this on the hardest difficulty. Halo Infinite does. I mean, the amount of potential replayability this thing has is insane. I cannot begin to fathom how much I'll be playing this after launch. You'll probably see me a year later still playing the Halo Infinite campaign when eventually the co-op campaign comes out. Now, as soon as the co-op campaign comes out, I'll definitely be playing with my friends, and you'll definitely see more footage of the campaign in multiplayer, and it'll just be shenanigans. But right now, I want to review the campaign in a kind of short manner. This is going to be a bite-sized video, so the campaign is very good. It starts off with, the UNSC Infinity being destroyed, and, it's a pretty stark awakening, a rude awakening, if you will, to the Banished and how powerful they really are. I don't really think that scale was introduced well in Halo Wars 2. So, the way they're introduced makes them seem actually formidable. Because the way that we saw them in Halo Wars 2, if they struggled to destroy the Spirit of Fire, they're definitely going to struggle to destroy something like that, like the UNSC Infinity, right? Well, no. They did that without their flagship, too, so they're obviously a pretty big threat. So, honestly, I think that, the Banished are going to be a very formidable foe in the future of Halo. And they're actually going to be a pretty big enemy that we're going to have to fight. They're going to be like the new Covenant, basically. But they're mostly brute-focused. Although I hope we get something similar to the Covenant that isn't brute-focused, like elite-focused, like Halo 4 and 5, except they were bad. But I honestly really hope that the endless that were revealed across the campaign, again, this is all spoilers, so if you haven't played the campaign, this is your fault. You shouldn't have gone this far. I gave you a warning at the beginning of the video. The endless are probably going to be one of our biggest enemies, too. I also hope that in one of the DLCs that we have, the campaign DLCs, if they're free or they're on Game Pass or something, hopefully I'll be able to, fight the Flood. That would be sick. We heard something about that before release, Flood and stuff like that. They're really a good opponent and a fun opponent to fight in Halo, so I don't know why they are moving from Halo 4 and 5. But, yeah, the campaign is very good. It's decently long. It's not as long as other Halo campaigns. It's just, right there, smack dab in the middle. It's almost perfectly long. That's why I like it. It didn't take me too much time. I think it took me 11 hours in total to beat the entire campaign. I'm not really sure. But, this game is just so fun. The weapon sandbox is great. As long as you're not playing on Legendary, almost every weapon is viable, from the Disruptor, which barely works sometimes, to the, let's say, the Mangler or the Skewer. Every weapon has its own, perks and, pros and cons, but usually they're good in almost every single scenario, unless you're fighting, a mini-boss, or a boss, or, hunters or something. Certain situations you want to have to use, one weapon over the other. But in, 9 out of 10, most weapons are, viable. You could probably use an assault rifle to kill one of the bosses, but I've never tried that, because they're actually just, pretty tough. They're not really that special, but they're, the tankier versions of, the actual, species that they are. Except for, the grunts. Those bosses are really easy to fight. I mean, you can kill them with, a tank or something. Unless you're fighting an elite boss that likes to cloak a lot, almost every single, strategy is viable, essentially. And the fun part about the bosses is that whenever you kill them, you gain their unique weapon. Like, for example, if you kill that elite that you see in, like, those teasers with the red energy sword, you can get that at any time from one of the forward operating bases that you capture, like the outposts from Far Cry. And, you know, the hammer that, what's that guy's name? Esherim has, the hammer that he has. Whenever you kill him, you can pick that up, and you can also, like, spawn that and anything. So the fact that you can pick up their weapons and, like, spawn them at will instead of losing them as soon as you drop them is actually very, very fucking cool. I actually like that a lot. It's a great feature, and it enables, you know, that extra sandbox to be a little bit bigger. And I really hope that they add weapons like these in the multiplayer. Like, I would love to, you know, fight somebody with that red energy sword. It would be great for machinimas. You know, the vehicles like the Wasp, the Scorpion, Warthog, you know, they've all returned. And the Razorback is a welcome addition. You can hold, like, what, how many Marines? Maybe, I think 5 on a Razorback. I'm not really sure. But, you know, it's an incredible game, incredible sandbox. The environments barely vary, like, they're just, like, the same exact woods, except, you know, a little bit different sometimes. You'll encounter some enemies here and there. But the open world is incredible and great, and I love it. I haven't been this well versed in, like, Halo since Halo 4. I think that was the last story that kept me captivated. But the gameplay of Halo 4 was not the most fun, in my opinion. I did not really like it. You know, most strategies weren't viable. But in this game, it's like the opposite of that. And Halo 5 had a terrible story, but pretty decent gameplay. Again, this game is the opposite of that. So, it's like the best of both worlds. And they haven't really made this as... It's not as good as, like, you know, Halo 3. But I'd say, arguably, that it is better than Halo 4 and 5 combined. And to a certain degree, not gonna lie, I kind of like it a little bit more than the Halo 3 ODST campaign, but that's because I don't think it should have been a separate game. It should have been like a DLC of Halo 3. Halo 3 ODST is still one of my favorites, but it's not the best. I mean, I like the concept of being an ODST, but we're here to talk about Halo Infinite, not the other game, so that might be a little bit controversial, but either way, this game is incredible. Everything about it is just great. Where 343 messed up with the multiplayer, I think they just made up with the campaign. I mean, the pilot, the Master Chief, the weapon, all 3 of these main characters are just an incredible asset. I love them. You know, they have a great relationship just starting off, and I think this is an incredible spiritual successor to the masterpiece known as Halo Combat Evolved. So, I mean, you know, this game, pretty good. So, good job, 343. You really earned yourself a good winter break. Speaking of winter break, I'm on mine. I probably won't make many videos, but whatever. Anyway, this is going to be the conclusion of the video. I hope you like that montage in the beginning. Thank you for watching. This has been Isaac P. 28, and Merry Christmas, everyone.